Right, I think that's going okay. Lovely. So thank you so much for agreeing to talk to us at Radio Lewis this morning, this afternoon, whatever it is. Am I right in thinking this is the first time both of you have been in Panto together?
No, the second time.
The second time?
Yes, I know. And in 25 years, we're celebrating 25 years this year, and it's only the second time we've done Panto together. Done it separately lots of times.
Yeah.
So we're looking forward to it.
And does that mean it's more chaotic because you're both in the same one?
More naughty.
I think so. Well, I think the joy of doing it together is that there's going to be a lot more opportunity to ad-lib with each other, because we can read the room together without speaking and communicating, so we'll know when there are certain situations where we can ad-lib and have a lot of fun. And I think that's part of the joy of Panto. It's coming off script and just going along with it.
I think that's the thing, because I bring my kids to see Panto, and they're now 11 and nearly 8. Actually, my son will be 8 by the time we get to this. And people sort of think, when they get to a certain age, they're too old for it. Actually, there's always something in for grown-ups. There's always something for older kids as well. So
that's the joy of Panto, something for every age group. Yeah.
And the fact that you're doing this together after having such a long period of time when we've been in lockdown, and I was following a lot of your adventures on Instagram where you were kind of catching up with each other and playing games, it comes across that you genuinely are very good friends.
Yeah.
We were from the day one, weren't we, really? The day we met,
You can't fake that.
No.
The friendship and love for each other. Sometimes when TV controllers or commissioners will try and create a double act using two people who are popular at the moment and put them on screen together, and you just can't manufacture chemistry. You can't do it. It just happens naturally.
The joy is we were friends as well before we were put on screen as a double act. We were presenters separately at the time and kind of sharing a flat. In West London at the time together. We did that for 5 years, and then the boss saw that we're growing as good friends, and then that's when it transferred to television. So it all worked really well.
Brilliant. And will there be any magic?
I think we are definitely doing magic. I'm just looking at the boss to confirm. Yes,
we are now.
Magic will be a part of the show. I think we're going to do some crazy illusions.
He's going to saw Dick in half.
How about that?
That'll make the second half interesting.
Never been seen here before at Fairfield Halls.
Something for all ages.
So, obviously, you started out... Well, you didn't start out, but you did magic in an early career, and you've kind of developed into is DIY SOS in your future?
Well, it's a funny thing. I've always been into DIY and making things. I started when I was a kid. Mum and Dad used to have a workshop, and I spent all my kids' holidays down there making things, and with saws and drills and stuff like that. Before power tools, really, so everything was very primitive. And I loved DT at school, and then my father-in-law, who sadly passed away, he was a builder and renovator, so he taught me a lot of what he knows and handed down a lot of his tools. And then we moved into a house at the beginning of lockdown, and obviously with losing all the work, we couldn't justify hiring tradesmen to come in, so I just said to Sandy, right, here we go. Let's do this. And so armed with lots of tools and with YouTube, I've managed to do it up to a nice standard. I'm not going to attempt the kitchen extension, though. That's too much.
He's very good. I mean, I've never picked a tool up in my life. I might get Dom round to mine to sort my house out next.
Well, it was funny because it started happening. I had some friends who live near us phoned up and said, "Oh, look, our curtain rails come down and we can't work out because the bracket's still in the wall, but the bit you fix onto it doesn't work." And anyway, I went around with my tools, ended up fixing it. And
how weird! I actually need a curtain rail putting up in my bedroom.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
solved a problem for you.
Unfortunately, we live about 300 miles away from each other. So it's not that easy.
We like to live far apart from each other these days, and we don't annoy each other.
Well, I think the fact that you work together and do almost everything else together probably mitigates that. So I have been, for anyone who hasn't already, if you go to Instagram and follow House of Wood, you can see for me, it started out with the trampoline, which I thought was incredible.
It was hard. It was a hard construction, that one, because usually when you put in a sunken trampoline into your garden, you hire a mini excavator, you have a skip outside your house, and you have two labourers, one digging and one doing the wheelbarrow shift to the tip, right? I did it with a spade and a wheelbarrow on my own, and it was hard. I did it in winter when it was snowing as well, so that the ground was nice and hard and easier to kind of...
You made it easy for yourself then, is what you're saying?
Kind of. Yeah. My back hurts. A lot.
But all the stuff you've put on Instagram looks really good. It looks like you've done a good job.
The funny thing about Instagram is this. Everything looks great on Instagram.
Of course it does. We have filters.
So if you look at my workmanship close up, it's not as good as a tradesman would do, for sure.
No,
it's been
but-
good
But
fun.
it's free.
It's
I was going to say,
free.
but that's not your living, is it? That's your hobby. That's your thing you do
Yeah,
on the
it's very
side.
it's very satisfying. You know, you do some tiling yourself, and
Yeah.
you know that you've saved a few £100.
I'm only asking this because I'm about to move house, and I'm going to have to do all of it
What you want me
myself.
to do your bathroom?
I wasn't going to ask, but and of course you're now a parent, so
just
that's
recently,
a
5 months
big
ago, yeah.
life change for you.
Certainly is. It's chaos, isn't it? The first 5 months is bonkers with a baby, obviously, as I'm sure many of you listeners know. But now she's just got to that stage where she recognises you and you're kind of getting something back. So I'm enjoying this part now.
Yeah,
She was watching you on Good Morning Britain
She
this morning,
was,
wasn't
yes,
she?
yeah. Her
Oh.
eyes lit up. Daddy on the TV. This is good. It's weird because Dom's had kids that have seen him, throughout his career doing all of this. But obviously she's, when she grows up, we're going to have to try and explain to her because her mum is from the
Is
television
also on TV
as well.
as well,
CBeebies
yeah,
presenter.
yeah.
So, so she's going to have to get used to the fact that both her parents are in the limelight, as it were.
Well, like usually Patton says that she'll probably go into the entertainment world as well, because a lot of performers who have been on stage from an early age, like the seasoned pros, they literally used to go around with their parents
Yeah.
who would, go into the dressing rooms, be there on stage with them and help them out.
Actually, yeah, your two have been on stage many a time, haven't they?
They have.
They
Well,
know
now
our show's inside out.
I've now changed it round because the eldest one's a teenager. And so instead of coming on stage, I've now got him selling all the merchandise in front of the stalls.
that's the way
We
to
had
do
him
it.
selling the merchandise last weekend, and he sold. I tell you what, he sold a lot of it.
He's good. We give him an incentive, which is 5%. 5%
Great.
of net sales. So you was it gross? It was gross sales, wasn't it? 5% of gross. And so I said to him, the thing about being on a percentage of sales is the harder you work, the more money you will get.
Brilliant.
And he didn't stop.
Didn't
he
stop.
didn't give up, even when the last people were in the theatre at the end of the show. He was still selling.
Well, you see, you've given him a good work ethic there.
Well, I think so. I think it's a good ethic to have at such a young age. I mean, we
Yeah.
both were working at a very young age, started very young, and understood the concept. Because I think these days, I think there's a lot of people who, the expectation of having to work hard for your job is
Yeah.
less than it was in our parents' generation. And I think to install that again into your kids, that you must work hard,
Yeah.
and if you work hard, you'll get results back.
Well, both of my kids have an ambition to have a YouTube channel. And I said, that's not actually an ambition. You need to do something in order for it to go on
problem is
YouTube.
the counter argument with that is that they'll point to people like Laserbeam or
Of course,
or
yeah,
Stampede
that's
from
exactly
years
who
ago,
they say.
or people like that, and they say,
Yeah.
but they're multimillionaires, or Mr. Beast,
Yeah.
they're multimillionaires, and you go, I can't really say
No.
anything against that because actually they're working really hard and they're earning damn good money.
Yeah. I think the thing is, though, that they also see that the things they're interested in. So one of my sons is really into art, and I say, your art is amazing. That's something you can do. But there is also this, they've grown up with a very different expectation. So, I'm of that generation that remembers watching you in the bungalow in the morning, hungover. That was a very different experience for my children watching you on Diddy, Dick and Dom, which, by the way, saved our holiday when we were in Cornwall in July, and I put Diddy, Dick and Dom
Was it
on every
raining by
night.
chance?
It wasn't. It was beautiful,
Oh,
but getting
okay.
them to go to bed is the devil's own job.
Yes.
So I would say you can have an extra episode of Diddy, Dick and Dom
Oh, good on you.
if you get in bed now. So that worked really
And then
well.
you can all giggle together.
It's strange for us because you forget how long you've been doing it. So you've got so many different generations now that have grown up with us with different programs. So that's interesting to hear.
There's even the generation before the bungalow generation,
Yeah.
which was the Rich used to do the bits in between the programmes with Otis the Aardvark.
Yes.
And I'll be doing
Room
magic
covered, yeah.
tricks. And so there's that generation as well.
Yeah.
Mid-90s, yeah.
Terrible. In fact, I was at a theme park with my kids recently, and the girl who was running one of the rides, she was 16, I think it was. She was really excited. She said, "Oh my God, I grew up watching you. So exciting. I've told my mum," and she says it's unbelievable because she met you when she was 16.
Wow.
I was excited to meet you then.
Scary.
I thought, oh my God,
Scary.
that's bizarre. It's a long time. Time
It
to
is.
retire.
Just makes us feel really
No.
old.
Well, the thing is, like I was saying before we switched on the interview, that I'd actually seen you both at the Eden Project a couple of years ago on my birthday. That was my treat to myself.
What a treat.
Took my mum, who'd come on holiday with me and my son. So she had, she kind of vaguely knew that these were kids' TV presenters. My kids were over the moon, and they were on different teams. I won't tell you whose team they were on, but they chose different teams. And by the end of it, Mum was going, "They're very good, aren't they? They're very, as mums do. They're nice young men, aren't they?" But you genuinely do have a completely intergenerational audience, which is going to work again for Panto.
Yeah, but yeah, I think it's very important when you're doing shows, whether it be TV shows for kids, or if you're doing like movies for kids or stage shows for kids, it's really important to remember the parents have to sit through this as well. So you've got to appeal to them so that
Yeah.
they're enjoying it. And kids, they're like a sponge. So if they see their parents laughing, then they'll laugh as well. It works for
Exactly.
everyone.
It's true.
And I'm not going to do this on the radio, but that has stuck
that.
with me.
Oh, yes.
I'm going to do a picture of that so that
The
my
three-finger
listeners-
salute.
Exactly.
Well, basically, for the listeners who are wondering what we're talking about, is that when we do break our stage show up into different rounds, and when it comes to round 3, we put up 3 fingers as if we're flicking 2 fingers. But there's 3 fingers, so it looks rude for the kids, but it's not, because there's 3 fingers. You can do it right now if you like. 1, 2, 3. Your ring finger, middle finger, and forefinger. Stick them up.
There you go.
3 fingers.
That sounded like magic just then. 1, 2, 3.
How about that?
You can't help it, can you? You go straight into
It's
magic
in
mode. Now I'm going to wrap up by just asking about the other bit of you that maybe not everyone knows about, which is the music and the DJing and the kind of the hardcore festival going, which you've been doing for years as well.
We've been DJing since we shared a flat together back in the mid-90s.
Oh, wow.
We used to have decks in the lounge and just practice mixing vinyl together. That's how old we are, vinyl. But yeah, we've kind of continued it. We now do student uni clubs. We do all the festival circuit. Yeah, and it's funny because people don't expect us to do it. So then we turn up and start playing like banging drum and bass, and they're like, "What my life is Dick and Dom playing drum and bass." So it goes down a treat, actually. Yeah, great crowds, love it.
Because that, again, was something I saw on Instagram where you got delivery of a new deck and it was very exciting and you were
yeah.
kind of playing some stuff on that.
Really
and
exciting.
that was a bit that I wasn't familiar with because my kids are still very young and I've not taken them to festivals.
Yeah. Well, festivals are great to take kids to. Any age. I've been taking mine since they were born, literally since they were born, so it's part of their lives. And they have a great time. But,
There's lots of great family festivals out there now. Yeah.
I don't do camping though.
Oh, okay.
I don't do roughing it.
Don't do it then.
Don't do roughing it at
You
all.
can do glamping these days, but it's
You
still
do day
camping.
tickets,
It's
go
still
for the day.
camping.
Yeah, exactly. I can do a day festival,
Yeah.
but
Do
I
a
think
day and check into your Premier Inn.
Well, I was going to go to one in Devon, which was in August.
Wild.
The Gone Wild one.
Bear Grylls.
Yeah, it was good.
Yeah, I liked the sound of that one, but then
You can stay in Powderham Castle. Nice.
yeah,
nice rooms.
I did think about that. All the glamping was booked, and then it's just I didn't book it because I then came down with COVID. So it's just I didn't go really.
Yeah, they've all been there.
Exactly. Thank you very much.
Lovely to meet
and I hope that the sleep deprivation gets better.
Yes, thanks.
I mean, I'll be
It's
honest.
getting
with
better.
you.
Actually, she's sleeping throughout the night, so we're very lucky. Very lucky.
Yeah,
You-
it don't,
you
it
wait-
don't
I
last.
might not look like it.
You wait till we're doing the shows and he's falling asleep through Act 2.
Well, I was going to say, are they travelling with you? Are your families travelling with you, or are
Well,
you going to
he's-
be?
I live
His family-
this way, down
You're
south.
not that far,
I
are
live
you?
down south.
Yeah.
But yeah, mine will be coming down now and again. But I think she starts eating solids around Christmas time, so that's going to be interesting.
Oh, God.
So I'll be feeding food and trying to do panto at the same time.
Pigs in blankets backstage.
Yeah, exactly.
Bag of Watsits.
Perfectly healthy. My kids have been raised on cheesy puffs.
Well, you know what? I think you start by giving those organic carrot crunchy puffs,
Yes.
and then it transfers to Watsits when you can't be asked within months.
It does. It does. It's like when you say my kids are never going to watch television. My kids are only going to have wooden toys.
have a phone.
And then you're propping up Diddy, Dick, and Dom for them to go to bed.
Yeah.
Exactly. Whilst eating Doritos. Perfect.
Thank you so much.
Lovely to meet you.
Thank you.